Hello everyone, it's Michelle Lupton here, and today I'm taking part in a blog hop to celebrate the new release from Crafty Meraki. So I'm going to be making a card using my Spellbinders Glimmer machine. You can see I've accidentally foiled one of my plates there. And I'm using the Under the Mistletoe hot foil plate from Crafty Meraki, and I've paired it up with some foil from Spellbinders, which is called Satin Pastels, a really beautiful pink shade from that set. So I've just heated up my plate. I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine and pull off the foil, and just look at this result. It's just so pretty, so shiny and pretty. Alright, so I'm also going to be pairing this up with the Festive Flora wreath stamp and the coordinating dies. Now this set is really cool. It has a whole lot of sentiments plus a wreath image all on one huge big stamp. So you can see I'm prepping my cardstock all over with my rabbit hole powder tool because I'm going to be stamping the whole thing all at once. So I'm inking it up with Versamark because I'm going to be doing some embossing, and you'll have to excuse the state of my Versamark. I just last week accidentally used it on a stamp that was not clean properly. And it's very, very dirty. I need to get myself a new Versamark ink pad. Anyway, I am using some Ranger Liquid Platinum embossing powder because I was thinking of using silver because it goes nicely with pink, but I thought the silver might be a bit too cold and harsh. So I went with the Liquid Platinum because it's still kind of silvery, but it has a little bit of warmth to it, but it's not gold. It's sort of in between the two. Okay, so you can see that this coordinating die cuts out everything all at once. So cool. All right, so I am just popping out all of those sentiments. I'll just be keeping them in a little plastic Ziploc bag for future use because I'm only going to be using one of those sentiments on my card today. But I'm going to be moving on to creating my card base now, and I decided to make my card base look like it was pale pink. So I found this piece of pink sort of shimmery metallic cardstock in my stash, and I thought it went quite nicely with the foil that I'd used. I'm cutting down this panel. By the way, I used some Hammermill cardstock to do my foiling on, because I find it's nice and smooth and takes the foil really nicely. And I'm going to be adhering that to my pink panel with a little border around the edge. So I'm just going to be cutting this panel down just a little bit more so that I have that pink showing through on the edges. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm just going to grab my tape runner. This is tape runner from Express-It Australia, and I'm going to be using that to adhere my foiled panel to my metallic pink cardstock. And then I'm going to be adhering that to my card base. But right now I'm trying to figure out whether I'm going to use the whole of the wreath image or just part of it, if I'm going to just have it hanging off the side or if I'm going to have multiple bits. I hadn't decided at this point, but I'm just going to keep on going with my card base and stand my card up because I've cut the pink panel to be exactly the same size as my card base, so yeah, it looks like I've got a pink card base. Alright, now the colouring that I'm doing is really, really simple, not really complicated at all, so I'm just going to show you a little bit. I'm going in with a sort of mid-tone red around the edge of the berries and then filling in the berries with a slightly lighter pink. Then I'm going in with a sort of a bluey green green on the holly leaves, and yeah, just going around making sure I get into all the little nooks and crannies there. And then I've found a more yellow pale green for the other leaves in this beautiful wreath. Then I decided I wanted just a little bit of shading, very little shading in this image. I went in with a slightly darker green on the holly leaves, and now I'm going in with my palest pink on the poinsettia flowers and also the other flowers that are sort of dotted around on this wreath. And then back to that mid red, mid-pink, to just add just a little bit of depth to the middle of those poinsettias. And that's all the colouring I did. So they're the Copic markers that I used for those people who really like to know exactly what colours I used. Alright, so now I'm back to trying to decide exactly what I'm going to do with this card. I eventually decided that I was going to have part of the wreath in the top left, but make it a mirror image in the bottom right. Not exactly a mirror image, but close. So I'm using some more glue, this time liquid glue from Express-It. This glue actually came in a jar, but I've emptied out an old sort of little bottle from another glue, and I've emptied it out, cleaned it out, and refilled it with my Express-It glue. And yep, just going to cut off the excess. I find it easier to cut off the excess if you turn it over, because then you can see exactly where the edge of the card is. And then I'm going to use the rest of it just to fill in the bottom part of the card. I'm just trying to decide exactly where I want the placement of the flowers and the berries and the leaves. I didn't want the green of the leaves at the bottom to be too close to the green of the leaves at the top. So that's what just made me decide that I was going to rotate it slightly more anti-clockwise. But same thing as up the top, just adhere it with liquid glue, turn it over and cut off the excess. Alright, so that is my main image done and the background done. Now all I need is a sentiment. And I've already got heaps of sentiments already done. I'm just adding some foam adhesive, again from Express-It. And I'm going to add that fa la la sentiment, which I think is really fun. Now to finish this off, I've got some Meraki Sparkle in Golden Illusion, little gemstones, and I'm just placing them here, and I'm going to be adhering them using a little tool that the lovely people from Crafty Meraki sent me. So thank you very much to Crafty Meraki for sending me all these products to play with. It was awesome fun. Now I hope that everybody joins in with this hop. So there'll be details in the description down below, and the next stop on the hop. You don't want to miss who's the next stop on the hop, and I hope to see you back again next time. I hope you enjoyed watching me making this card, and Merry Christmas! Bye!